Hey guys, a little update video to my this series trailer videos. Yos, 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 yos. To my Victor has officially wrote with out of the series. In both his own. He officially wrote without. In both his own, both in his solo shorts, as well. Guys, I me guys, time for time for me to tell you about characters I wrote now. As you know, I never wrote out. Guys, some of the characters seen, you have seen in my series have been not rolled out. I just haven't written them back into the series. That doesn't mean that they're not written out, or I'm lazy and I don't want to ever do anything with them. That's not true. And the matter of fact is, those Vivid engines that came, the only real character I wrote now is Toby. But God, hi, I'm Toby from the story. With Thomas, I'm going to mention why I wrote it now. It was just my time to go. It was just I would rewrite Toby's guys. I would rewrite Toby's retirement to be all about the retirement. But now that I've now been officially wrote out of the series, and I'm not happy or sad. I've been a part of the main cast since season one. I've been a part of the main cast since season one, and not, and I actually wrote the episode where I got ripped out. You might be thinking, well, in the universe of the series, yes, yeah. I only was the one that suggested I retired. But don't worry. What did that mean for my character? In season 7, you might be wondering. If you're wondering what does that mean for my character, well, I hate to tell you, but that doesn't really mean anything. My character will be still on the rail. I'm not gonna be in the online with in the stories of Sodor. I'm not gonna be on the Bluebell Railway. I'm going to be on the Nice Heritage Railway in Southern Wales called the Barnstein and Noble Railway. I'm going to be, the first episode is called Toby's Movin' of the season. I'm going to be on the made up Barnstein. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going to be on the on a new railway. Specifically designed for me. And it's not here on the. However, I don't know where I'm going now. Now that I've been retired from active duty. Well, thank you. Well, thank Thomas Smith for having me be a part of the main cast. No problem, Toby. Does this really mean goodbye? Are you ever going to appear again on my series? In my driver's remembrance series? Reese, of course, Thomas. I will still be there. Of course, Thomas. I will still be there, but I'm no longer going to have the number 7 on me. I'm going to have my old number. Toby. They're my team. Now, thank you for having me, Thomas. Thank you for having me for all these years. Thank you for having me, a part of the really. I have to get leaving soon for a new home, and I don't want to miss it. And I don't want to miss it. My boat is leaving soon for my new home, and I don't want to miss it. Goodbye, Thomas. Miss. Miss. Goodbye, Tobe. Oh, I'm just not able to make it any more steam anymore. Well, Toby will have be, even though guys, about why, well, Toby went, yeah, never mind. He went to the Bluebell Railway. Yeah, never mind. He went to the Bluebell Railway. After, in 19, well, this won't happen until season 7, guys. Toby won't retire really until season 7, so you got a big sneak peek of what later this year. I'm thinking about starting the season in either late November, November to early December or December. Either way, but I still have a mountain of videos I want to pump out before I start the new season. I still have two entire ideas for videos. Well, Nia, oh, by the way, the railway that Nia works in, owned by the Fat Controller, called the Tanzania Railway. Wait, if you want to visit the Tanzania Railway, well, you have to go all the way to Tanzania, and it's called the Tanzania African Northeastern Railway. Wait. Notice how I didn't say the word, guys, you might be thinking, why did you not say the African Northeastern Heritage Railway? Well, that's the thing. There isn't a railroad, it's not a heritage site. Apparently, the Fat Controller managed to find someone when they wanted apparently, he managed to sell him. Apparently, Nia was sold off by the Fat Controller to a new guy, to another controller that wanted to make a new railroad called the Tanzania Light Southern Railroad, called the Tanzania North Africa Light Railway. Wait. And that Tanzania North Africa Light Railway. And that's the railway that Nia works on, at least until 2018. And I only recorded this. My brother is actually right now making the video as of this year. Okay, what happened now? As of 2018, her railway has fallen on hard time, but her railway's still making good money. Just not making that much anymore. The owners were hoping to pump out a few more years before they declared it a heritage site. Before they're going to declare I heard 3 years ago, back in 2021, they had to declare it to be a heritage site. Which is sad, really, because Sodor was the only. Because Sodor. What does that mean for me? Well, in case you're wondering, do I have any thoughts about retiring? I don't. Right now. No. I still have years worth of stories to tell. Oh, if I'm retired, I'm not going to tell them anymore if I retire from my home railroad. Well, and why didn't Toby just you're probably thinking, then why did Toby retire and be on the Bluebell Railway? Like, Bluebell Railway. Be on the Bluebell Railway. Like, if so, it's been a heritage site. Well, that's the thing. Heritage, even though we're a heritage site as of the 1950s, we're officially all, as of 19, as of 19, teen, 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 70, 70, 77, we're officially a heritage site. As of 1977, we've been a heritage site, but lately we have less and less past it. My TV shows, ever since 2000, ever since when Mattel ended the show, ever since Mattel took Thomas and Friends in a new direction, no, guys, in my universe, aka the universe of this series, love will never happen. But there is light in the tunnel. Our financial crisis that happened, well, we were in a little financial crisis in 1977, which only lasted from 1977 to early 1978. Yeah, so for 1 year we were in a little financial crisis. I remember how bad 1977 was. It was almost as bad as 1920. It was almost as bad as 1947. It was almost as bad as the financial crisis that we had in 1977, and mirrored the same way that we had in 1947. But we had a big financial crisis that year. I remember now. Guys, I have an idea. I really do want to refilm season one, but I'm going to probably make 2 videos today. Okay, now about some characters. Okay, now that I explained some... Guys, it's an explain video. I just saw what it could be. Like, my reason for writing out Toby, being all that stuff. So, here's... Okay, guys, let me just show you a character that... You might be familiar with Rosie. What you don't know is... Rosie, can you explain it? Sure, Thomas. For the journalist back when we came to Sodor. Sure, Thomas. I can explain when I came to Sodor. I came to Sodor to help out with the war in 1941. Guys, I'm gonna do whatever your Victor says and be right back. I came to Sodor to help out with the war effort. Where, as you all know, I'm an American-built tank engine, specially designed by the same railway that Burnett Stone used to work on, the Indian Valley Railroad, before he retired. I was specially made to Thomas. Fun fact about me, yes, is that I was actually specially built. The reason why I have 3 humps is actually sort of, even though I never got to use my humps to my abilities here on Sodor, I was built. The reason why I was built with my 3 humps is because my idea was that I would be problem for weeks upon weeks in a desert. You see, I was built on December 15, 1941. which seems a little odd. Huh, that seems a little odd. That seems a little odd, Rosie. See? You asked me when I was built. The journal, yeah, it was built like soon. Or was that the... I don't understand. You said that you were not fresh out of the works when the whole Pearl Harbor incident happened. And now... Oh, I was just going in for routine maintenance. You see, Thomas, I have lied. I lied to protect my home, my family, and my friends. Huh. Thomas, I really want to tell you my real story. Wait, wait. You promise you won't tell? Tell what? You see, I did not lie about the creator of me. His name was Burnett Stone. He used to be a well-known locomotive designer for the Indian Valley Railroad back in the day. Yes? Yes? And what did that have to do with you? Well, before I was fired up with gold dust, just because you know how I work. Yeah. That's when Kate came into our story. She was built like the day I was built. Like she started compression the day I ended compression. We were both built in the Indian Valley Railroad's workshop on the... okay, what does this have to do with why you lied? It's because of a man named T.T. Boomer. Wait, did you just say T.T. Boomer? Mer? I did. I'm now in grave danger, If he finds out I'm here, I will be scrapped for sure. As I had to laugh to tell him that Boomer been in jail for, what, 50 years? As I said, there's nothing to fear anymore, Rosie. What? Boomer was arrested years ago. When? Guys. Guys, I accidentally talked and I didn't even have the recording on pause. So Thomas basically didn't tell Rosie to work alright because Boomer was arrested sometime in the mid to late 50s. Mid to late 50s. You see, I was really built in 1940. Yeah, I was built on March 18, 1940. I worked as just an English shunter for the Indian Valley Railroad for over a year. That was until Boomer came back. Why? What did Boomer do to you? Well... It took me... And this happened on November... The day... And I wasn't repaired until like a week later. But then right then, I was sent over to here. And, well, that's how I came to... But the big... Why were you paying... Oh, I was paying... Just to match the other engines on the railroad... On the other... I didn't like... Thomas, about my black livery that I used to wear, yeah? I didn't like it. I wanted something... So that's why I became pink. Pink when I... To fit in with all the rest of you. But then on March 18, 1950, But then on March 18, 1956, 1950, 1950, then on March 15, 1950, yeah. Then on March 15, 1957, then, which is, guys, side note, during the events of season 1. Which is side note, during the events of season 5. This is why Rosie changed it. I got painted from blue to black. I got painted from pink to black. And Thomas, I have something else to tell you. Yeah? I'm leaving the Farquhar Boys. The Fat Controller gave me a new job at Vickers. See ya, Thomas. My room. Hope to see you. Guys, this will happen in Star Season 7. Okay. So those are all the big changes that happened. Those are all the big changes. Yeah, that's thing. Let go. Toby should be leaving back for the railroad, for the bell, for the Bluebell Railway tomorrow. Rose. How about I show you what, because we can change color randomly. Rosie, I got the workman here to repaint me into my colors. Yeah, this is what I look like back in the day. Rosie, I went from Rosie, because we were talking about paint. You want to hear what colors I went from? Sure, Thomas, what? I went from Ellie and I went from my standard black livery that I was given by my railroad, which is the London, right? Which, in case you're wondering what railroad did I come from before, the London, Brighton, and South Coast Railway crew in my class. So yeah, yeah, Rosie, I used to be exactly like you. What, a nameless shunter for that railroad? Who would say that? Rosie, what, we should all know. What? Well, I was never painted on my London South Coast livery. I was. Hey Rosie, about mine. I noticed how weird my paint colors are. How weird I was. Yeah, I was a weird engine back in the day. You gotta remember. You have to remember, my brother. Don't. Have you ever heard? Yeah, this is my number. Wow, Thomas, you look different back when you came to the railroad. This is my big brother in Liverpool. And my brother. I remember Timothy well. I wish I had some guy back in my Hudson days and back in my Hudson days as well. Thomas? What? I had hoodlum days. Which were what? When? back when I used to be painted black. No, this is the livery I came to Soaring. Well, yeah, back when I used to be painted green, I used to get myself into a lot of trouble with Mr. King. He's the control of the railroad. Mr. King, I used to get into so much trouble back in the day with Mr. King. Huh. The weird part is, I haven't gotten into any problem with the back controller. What, should I tell about how many times? How much trouble? Thomas, did you ever get into any trouble with Mr. Eric, your former controller? Did I ever? I remember once, Eric, I remember once, back in the day, back when Timothy used to be around. Oh, you would love this story. Wait, I will tell you this story. And you see it, Timothy, blah 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 blah. I cannot. Thomas, what did you just say? I said blah blah blah. I said, oh yeah. Okay, so really, okay. It began in 1917. Just a typical day from my own life. It began in 1917. It began on March 18, 1917. Okay, so what happened? This is... Wait. Well, can you tell me your story and then I can tell you mine? Began on July 5th, 19... Mr. King would love to see me now. He said, silent number, whatever you are. Well, Eric understood me. He was a great man. Whatever happened to him, Thomas? Whatever happened to him? I'm just here. I have a question, Thomas. Whatever happened to him? Oh, he retired at the age of... He retired at the age of 75. He retired at the age of 75. Of 77. He retired in his early to mid 70s. Uh-huh. Yeah. How old was he back then? He was in his... He was 37 when I last saw him. And my driver used to write a note to him every year. I used to write a note to him every year on his birthday. Until June 11, 1961. Guys, Eric was born on June 11th, and all those years ago. So I don't want to establish a pre-existing date for a character that's dead now. No, he died. Well, he lived. Wait, after closing the railroad, yeah. Because, wait, that doesn't make any sense. And it was no. He just had to sell. He had to pay a massive debt off from the. He paid a lot of stuff from the war committee. If that makes any sense. Oh, I know what that means. I hear that Mr. King might have fallen on hard times due to the World War II being over. Mr. King? Oh, that's kind of sad. Both of our old controllers fell on hard times. Later, I heard that Eric tried to keep his railroad going afloat because he paid off a massive debt to 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 other places like the Wartime Committee, and I heard later that Rick eventually had to sunk. Apparently, he spent his last few $100 million worth of it. Turns out he came from a wealthy family, but during the Great Depression, it didn't do anything. And by 1935, I heard later from my driver who has a friend where Eric and railroad is that he had to sell most of the railroad in 45. But he planned to reopen it the very next year. And then the year after that, 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 and then the year after that. Eventually in 41, before you came, we got this letter from from Wallace, who still works on that railroad, that Eric had to finally close it for real, not planning to reopen it in a certain station. And because once again he struggled, because he eventually later I heard that Eric might build, eventually family lawyers might bail himself out of prison, and because he didn't pay his taxes ever. Okay, Tom. And then what? What? I don't know. No, I don't know what happened to Eric after that. He sold the railroad off. Right, Mr. And then I heard from one of my old co-workers that saw him after they got out. He spent only 2 years inside. But he never returned to the real industry. We eventually opened up a casino, and eventually he opened up a pub in near the docks of Southampton. Eventually he reopened a pub after been closed for the depression. And I hear that business is good, but eventually he had to close it down again. Is this guys? I'm sorry for saying that. Later, I heard after he tried to start many other businesses throughout the late 40s into the 50s. But being how he was so old, they never. Eventually, his brother Stan had to put him in a nursing home because at the age of 58, he was still trying to make money. And that's why he died in a great nurse. He did die in a great nurse. He tried to start small businesses like an annual bingo tournament, something in a nursing home. But at least I think that what happened to him. Rosie, what I just told you, I think that's what happened to her. I don't know what happened to her. Yeah, but I read somewhere in the paper that he died in a nursing home. And after having no money, after having no money. So that's what I think happened to Eric. What do you think happened to King? Guys, I might discuss what happened to King in Rosie's solo character profile. Solo character backstory. Until then, I'm not punching. See you guys later. Bye.